Welcome to another edition of Get It Right. As always, the main objective of this show is to showcase to farmers the correct procedures they need to follow for them to succeed in their various farming ventures. In today's show, we speak with Joseph Odhiambo, a catfish expert, also the farm manager at Kamudhanga Fish Farm that is located at the bottom of Moa Hills in Machakos County. Now, did you know that catfish belongs to the ray finned group of fish and that it also has a moustache due to its large prominent bubbles protruding around their mouth, giving it the name catfish? Now you know. Welcome to today's show and let's learn the science behind catfish breeding.
My name is Joseph Odhiambo and today we are going to take you through catfish breeding. Catfish is one of the most cultured, actually it's the second most cultured fish in the country, in Kenya. So today we are going to take you through how its biology of its breeding, and catfish being one of the most preferred aquaculture candidates, we need to understand its breeding biology. So if you want to grow fish, you first need to know how it breeds. You need to understand. And in that case, you'll be able to know how to produce the seeds. Because for the continuous running of the farm, you need a continuous supply of seeds.
Since the environmental conditions in Kamudhanga farm cannot facilitate the natural propagation of the catfish, the managers at the farm have hence opted for artificial propagation. Joseph Odhiambo, the farm manager, takes us through the process of artificial catfish propagation.
Artificial propagation, there are two ways how we do it. The first way is when we kill the male and extract the gonads, because the gonads of fish are normally located inside. They are not externally like the other animals. They are located inside. So if you want to access the gonads, you need to do surgical operation, take out the gonads and extract the milk for the fertilization process. So we are trying to be human about this. What we are going to do, we are going to take you through the process, step-by-step process of doing this.
Just like any other living organism, before any surgery is undertaken, the fish must first of all be sedated to make it unconscious for 30 minutes to allow the surgery to take place.
First, we'll sedate the fish. To sedate the fish is to make it unconscious. So we'll use a natural anesthesia called clove oil. You put some drops, a certain amount of drops, like in 10%. 10% in 10. 1 ml in 10 ml of water, and you subject fish for some time, for like less than 30 minutes. They go unconscious. So it's very easy to handle fish when it's in unconscious state. So, and it's also more human because you don't want to struggle with fish. Because what we are going to do is surgical operation. Surgical operation, we will surgically operate on the fish, access the gonads, we remove the milk, and then stitch it back to life. So what he's going to do is going to make a solution that will put the fish to sleep. So this is clove oil. Clove oil is mostly they are used in kitchens to prepare food. So there are so many anesthesia that you can use with fish. You can use clove oil. You can even use sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium carbonate. So in few minutes, we'll be taking you through the process of unconscious. It's a step-by-step thing.
For the sedation solution, one requires to mix 1 milliliter of clove oil, which is the most efficient anesthesia, and 10 millimeters of fresh water to get the solution.
So that is 1 ml of clove oil he's mixing with 10 ml of water. The water should be clean water. So depending with the size of the fish, the bigger the fish, the more time it can take to go to sleep. So what we do, you keep on adding little by little. You don't add a lot because you can fail to revive it. So you add little by little until the fish become unconscious.
When the sedation solution is ready, you can now start adding it to the water where the catfish is swimming, drop by drop, as you thoroughly mix it with the water to allow the sedation mixture to get into its bloodstream. The rate at which you add the solution depends on the size of the fish. The bigger it is, the more solution you'll need.
We introduce a drop by drop as we mix properly, the way it's doing. Depending with the size of the fish, we expect the small one to go to sleep first and the bigger one to take more time, because the solution, the effects of this, for it to be felt, the solution has to go through the bloodstream and into the brain for the effect to take place. So the bigger the fish, the more time it will take the solution to go through the bloodstream. It smells nice. You can even eat it or drink.
The concentration of the sedation solution will determine the time rate for the fish to lose consciousness. In this case, it will take approximately 10 minutes for the catfish to lose consciousness. Opening gills will allow more solution inside the bloodstream. This fastens the process of it losing its consciousness. There are 4 ways of checking the unconsciousness of the catfish. First, if the fish loses its balance, the normal swimming position. Secondly, if the operculum stops flapping. Thirdly, zero resistance when the tail is bent towards the head. And lastly, by putting your hand through the mouth to the back of the brain. If it tries to bite you, then it's still conscious.
The concentration we are administering now, it should be at least 10 minutes. So in 10 minutes, they should start showing sign of losing consciousness. So he is going to make another solution, but you should not rush them up because they can overdose. If they overdose, it might be hard to revive them. So what you can do, you open the gills so that the solution can go through, because they breathe through the gills. And that's the only entry where there's the anesthesia is going through the body stream. So you just keep on opening the gills to allow the solution to be going into the bloodstream. So when it's unconscious, it shows no signs of movement at all. And if you bend the tail and it touches the head without resistance, that means the fish is unconscious. So as of now, they are showing some little bit of resistance, and you can also overturn it. If you see the operculum, this is now the operculum flapping, then they are still conscious until the operculum stops flapping. Those are the noses of the fish. So it means that you cannot do anything to it. It's still very aggressive and very hard to handle. So as it flaps the operculum, it's taking in the solution, and that is going to take some time because this one is big. So if you do like this, you see the Patrick, I think is taking effect first. So we are testing the level of consciousness. I'm trying to touch the back of the brain, and you can see it's flapping. That means the fish is still not ready for handling. That is eggs. That's a very good female. So you still just keep him in the water and let him ingest more of the solution. So this one is now going to sleep completely. This one is totally unconscious. This operculum, this part is not flapping. You see this part is not flapping. Then that means it's unconscious. Because if it's conscious and active, it will be opening and closing, opening and closing. And another thing to test how unconscious the fish is, you try to bend the fish. If the tail touches the head like this and it is not responding, then the fish is now unconscious and ready for the surgical operation. So this fish, this guy here is unconscious. Another thing, you put the hand in the mouth, and you see there's no kind of resistance. So this fish here is ready for surgery.
catfishes too have males and females, but differentiating them would be a daunting task. Odhiambo shows us how to differentiate them and how to determine if your fish are mature for propagation or not.
So this is the female, the one we are seeing here. It has the papillae, it's like it has two openings. The anus, where for the droppings, and the urogenital part, where the urine and the genitalia is. There are two openings all together, ends at one point. Now this is the female. And there's no any other way of showing until you look at the genital area. So this is the male, this is the female, sorry. So for the, and another way of being sure that this is the female, if you press the stomach, you see the eggs coming out. You can see that is the egg. Those are the eggs coming out. It's a very, very good egg. The quality egg is, if you see the eggs color golden brown in color, that is mature female. Golden brown is the color of mature egg. But if you squeeze the stomach and the green eggs coming out, that is an immature egg. So you cannot use that for breeding. So this one shows you that this is very mature, and as you strip, the egg is just coming out nicely. So one female can produce up to 20% of its body weight. So if it's a kilogram, it can give you, if 2 kilograms can give you up to half a kilogram of egg. So this is the female, and that is how we determine, how do we know the maturity of the egg and the female. This one here is the male. This is the guy, and you can see that it's very docile. The anesthesia is taking effect, and this one is also, you see that we have two openings, but this one, you'll see this one is elongated papillae. The elongated papillae is now the genital part, but there's also another small hole here. A small hole here. This is now the anus for the waste droppings. So this one, the papillae is for the reproduction process. Yeah. So this one is if you want to know that the male is mature, you look at the tip of the male papillae should be red at the tip here, and it should be able to touch at least the anal fin. The anal fin is this one. What you see here, this is the anal fin. So if this genital papillae is long enough to touch the anal fin, then it is mature for breeding. You can use it for breeding.